So this is our board where we put all the pins that we have ideas for, crafty ideas for specifically. And in this particular video, we're going to do something with this set here. Specifically, we're going to take all the characters from the 100 Acre Wood and put them inside Christopher Robin's head in a silhouette, thus lending credence to the idea that Winnie the Pooh was all just in Christopher Robin's head to begin with. So the very first thing you need to do for this particular project is make a silhouette of Christopher Robin's head and the picture frame. I'll let Daniel show you how to do that.
Hi guys, so this was supposed to be the spot where I put in a screenshot of my computer and showed you how to go and find a Christopher Robin silhouette and bring it into Photoshop and then trace around it. And I'm having all kind of problems getting that done in a timely manner because of work and life and all those kinds of things. So suffice it to say, the way you get a Christopher Robin silhouette is you go Google search for a Christopher Robin image, of a cartoon image. You bring it into Photoshop, you trace around it to make a silhouette of it, and you make that black, and there you go. That's exciting, isn't it? I do have one that's already done, the one that Zach is using for this project. I will put a link to that file in the comments of this video. So not in the description of the video, but in the comment sections. And I'll pin a comment, our very first comment, which will have a link to that file should you decide that you want to use that for your own project. And if you do, then you are honor-bound and obligated to send us a link to your project so that we can see what you did with it. So anyway, now I'll go back to Zach. This was refilmed over a couple of days, and I'm just trying to edit it all together. So if I sound disjointed, it's because I'm disjointed. So anyway, back to Zach.
And I suppose no good craft project is complete without a list of materials. I almost called them ingredients, but this is not, it's not a recipe. So you need your printouts, you need white foam for your backing, black foam for your frame. You can also use foam for the silhouette itself, but for this project we've chosen to use felt. Chalk to do some outlining, scissors, and good old Elmer's glue. And remember, like my teachers used to tell me in school, a little glue goes a long way. So the first thing you're going to do is take your Christopher Robin silhouette once you've printed it out and cut it out of the paper. And this particular part, both here and when you cut this out again on the felt, is probably the most time-consuming part, just because the scissors, these are bigger scissors, so they don't do all the wide, excuse me, these are bigger scissors, so they don't do all the smaller turns that you can do with, you know, a smaller, craftier pair of scissors. This is just your standard issue. We call them the kitchen scissors. And because Christopher Robin has an interesting profile, because he's got some very bits of spiky hair going on here. I had one of these silhouettes done when I was younger and Disney World was a vacation destination. It's hanging on the wall in my mother's bedroom at home in Illinois, and every time we pass by one of the silhouette stands at the parks, I find myself thinking, well, that could be fun to do, get, you know, an adult version silhouette to go alongside my kids version silhouette, and they're not super expensive. I mean, for Disney, I think it's $20 for just you. Obviously, if you add more people or a character or something, the price increases, but they're relatively reasonably priced. So I may have to do that as a maybe a Mother's Day or a birthday gift. Hopefully my mother doesn't, well, I'm not going to say hopefully my mother doesn't watch this, but hopefully my mother doesn't watch this particular video if she watches our videos at all and then ruin my my surprise, because, you know, how wonderful would that be to give her the new silhouette and she'd be like, oh, I saw this on the YouTube video when you talked about it 8 months ago. So we have our Christopher Robin silhouette cut out of paper. We're going to flip this over and put it on the felt. We're going to mark the topmost point and the bottommost point with chalk. And then what we're going to do is just try and outline this as best we can. So we're going to outline this as best we can with chalk and apparently tear off one of Christopher Robin's bangs in the process, but, you know, he didn't need that hair anyway, did he? So, here is our Christopher Robin silhouette made out, well, outlined with chalk. And now we are promptly going to cut some more. Just trying to navigate these little turns here. Hopefully they don't make Christopher Robin end up looking like some sort of deformed monster, but, you know, I didn't go to art school, so I make no guarantees for the quality of my art. Okay, so that actually wasn't too terrible. Here is Christopher Robin's head cut out of felt. Now that we have our Christopher Robin felt silhouette, we're going to glue him onto the backing, and then we're going to let that dry. Try hopefully to center this, but no promises. Alright, so we're going to let that dry. So our glue has dried. Here is our Christopher Robin silhouette on our white background. Unfortunately, when you do things yourself, sometimes you screw them up. So when I cut what was supposed to be my frame, I cut along the inside line and not the outside line. So therefore, the silhouette, the frame, is a little too small. Also, the edges are a little rough because I cut felt with scissors and not something like an X-Acto knife. But these things happen when you make things yourself. So what we're probably going to end up doing is just buying an oval-shaped shadow box for this particular set. So we're going to take all of our silhouettes and put them inside Christopher Robin's silhouette. Order doesn't matter. Place them wherever you like. And here you have it. Once this is inside an actual frame, it'll look a lot better, but, you know, we wanted to make the whole thing DIY, but unfortunately, it's what happens. Hey, if you like what we do here on this channel, links to our social media profiles are in the doobly-doo down below. Leave a comment, tell us what you like, what you don't like, what we can do better. Big thing, hit that like button, show us some love, it really does help us out. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here, and until next time, we'll see you real soon.